A reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 64, verses 1 to 9. Oh, that you would tear open the heavens and come down, so the mountains would quake at your presence, as when fire kindles brushwood and the fire causes water to boil, to make your name known to your adversaries, so that the nations might tremble at your presence. When you did awesome deeds that we did not expect, you came down, the mountains quaked at your presence. From ages past, no one has heard, no ear has perceived, no eye has seen any God besides you who works for those who wait for him. You meet those who gladly do right, those who remember you in your ways. But you were angry, we sinned. Because you hid yourself, we transgressed. We have all become like one who is unclean, and all our righteous deeds are like a filthy cloth. We all fade like a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, take us away. There is no one who calls on your name or attempts to take hold of you, for you have hidden your face from us and have delivered us into the hand of our iniquity. Yet, O Lord, you are our Father. You are the clay and you are our potter. We are all the work of your hand. Do not be exceedingly angry, O Lord, and do not remember iniquity forever. Now consider, we are all your people.
Advent begins with the prophet Isaiah playing with fire. And fire today is a powerful image and an unstoppable force, with the most destructive of fires raging in North America, in Australia and in Siberia, to name but a few in a long list of locations. The picture is sustained throughout the Old Testament lesson for Advent Sunday from the prophecy of Isaiah. The fire is introduced to us in terms we can understand: the kindling and the crackling of brushwood, the bubbling and the boiling of water. At this stage, those who are in the sights of God are his adversaries, his enemies. But the focus shifts from this fire working for God's people to this fire working to express God's wrath and anger towards his people. And so the fire is coming to get the people of God, and as we say, it takes no prisoners. What I think is hidden from us in the flow of the language is that clay and pottery need fire and heat to happen and to function. You can mould clay. You can shape and reshape it to purpose and to beauty, to your heart's content. But you do need to fire it if you're going to use it and if it's going to last. The purpose of God, who is the creator of everything, is not to destroy but to build. The fire that has caused devastation is also the element that builds anew. And the purpose of God is to move God's people from being unclean to being a finely moulded vessel of pottery for God's use and for God's delight. The role of God's people is to engage with him around the filling of God's memory, with a beautiful sense of their working with and for him rather than against him, and to ensure that in this way his anger will wane like a fire that has run its course. The image of fire draws us into the positive use of danger and of anger, into the shifting of memory from bad things to good things, into the modulation from filth to beauty. God holds his own people inside the cauldron and offers them refinement. This process of redemption can begin only if we, the people of God, call upon the name of God. Isaiah chapter 64 and the second verse. as when fire kindles brushwood and the fire causes water to boil. In a very different Advent and Christmas for 2020, let us hope for fruitful outcomes from difficult beginnings, for beauty and function and purpose, following the life and the work of the refiner's fire.